I mean, see, Carl in the week was saying that he doesn't like sayings and phrases and metaphor and analogy, and I was going, you know, and he thinks it's sort of like, you know, one step away from poetry. But he comes out with the most evocative phrases. That is a straightforward analogy. Lap dancing is like being given a meal that you can't eat. See, that's great. That's how you saw it, and that's so much better than saying it's mad, you can't touch, or it's a waste, or do you see what I mean? we were trying to inflame his enthusiasm in the week, and I said about different phrases, and he goes, well, why not just say the actual words? I was going, well, it's more poetic, and I told him the Isaac Newton one. If I have seen further than any other man, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. And I said, well, that's because, you know, he's saying, you know, I'm getting lauded for being this great scientist and all these discoveries and being a genius, but I'm saying, you know, if it wasn't for those scholars before me that had come up with what they come up with, you know, I wouldn't have got this far. Carl went, what did you say?
I just said, well, I prefer him to give me a name check. Do you know what I mean, though? If he stood there and he's saying how good everything is, don't just class me, don't sort of put me in with a load of other people. Give me a mention.
If you were one of the other scholars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were probably people that died sort of years before him. I think he's saying more that he's thanking the body of work these scientists and these great men had handed down, you know, through either books, material, teachings.
He's not giving a big shout out to the collective science posse.
Yeah, yeah. You know, thank you. Actually, I copied Nigel's. He's not saying that. I was like, earwigging. I heard what Nigel said about it, about the third law. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I look into sayings and stuff a
Go
lot
on.
more and see if they work. Well, one that happened a couple of weeks ago, right? You were talking about the you can't have your cake and eat it. Is that what you said?
Well, I never understood that, because I thought, well, what's the point of having your cake and not eating it, rather like your lap dancing analogy? But it actually means you can't have eaten your cake and still have it there,
Yes,
obviously.
Exactly.
Well, the time that I saw that saying work, right? I was in Asda with Suzanne.
Yeah.
And you know those big binders you get with nice cakes in them?
Yeah.
For birthdays and that, you can get one with, like, David Beckham on the front of it.
Yeah.
You can have one with, you know, Thomas the Tank Engine, if you want.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, you can have one of them. And I saw one of those comedy ones, where it is, like, a big pair of breasts.
Yeah.
And that is when, you know, you can have your cake and eat tit.
Play record.
No, but, you see what I'm saying?
Play record, I want to talk to you about it. About puns. Placebo! This picture, with the androgynous vocal talents at the helm there of Brian Moloko on XFM 104.9. I'm Rick Gervais.
Informed broadcasting.
Excellent.
Did you see, I'm sure, I don't know if Carl saw it, I know you watched it, Rick, it was extraordinary, it was a Sky One TV show the other night. It was something like, reality TV,
Oh,
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah,
Excellent.
and it was about basically what the fortunes of
I cannot get enough of it.
the fortunes of various reality TV stars since they've come out of the show. Christine Hamilton coming out of the jungle, and obviously once again always a pleasure to find out what Fats Waller is up to. Rick Waller. I mean,
he's in a band now.
He's got his own band. He was playing in some club in Rochester. There was about
It's
20
sort of
people in
gospel,
the audience.
sort of gospel rock, that sort of soul gospel rock thing, like something you see in the Commitments or something. And when it cut to the audience, it was like it was in Butlins. It was just a big dance floor, and there was just people watching indifferently. And you went, the people that were here loved it. I mean, it's a bit
And I
sad.
have to say,
I know.
the size of the man, his leather jacket, Carl, was extraordinary. I don't know how many animals had to die to make it. It was like, you know, it was
It looked like,
unbelievable.
if he'd have fallen off, it'd been like the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Because
It was like a Zeppelin.
oh,
It
the
was-
humanity!
It was
people.
extraordinary. I still think, when I see him wearing a coat like that, it looks like he is stood on the shoulders of two other people. It's
Yeah,
just a joke.
just a
It's just
little
like a
head.
circus act or something.
Yeah.
Because his head doesn't make sense.
Looks like it's one of those things that you steam yourself in. You put your head out that, and is that a machine you're in? No, it's a
Or
coat.
one of those old-fashioned iron lungs.
Oh dear.
But
There were some
he's-
magic moments.
But there was a great, because once again, I mean, I missed a lot of the first series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but it
Brilliant.
showed once again the moment with Darren Day. Darren Day, a lovely guy, but that moment where he went off and sat on a rock and came back, and he'd written a song.
I know.
Which he just, and I can't, it was also things like, I'm in a hotel room in another
I
town.
know. Don't.
And
do
it was just, it was like something you'd write when you were 14. It was unbelievable. They showed it again. It's just stunning.
I love songs you write when you're 14. It's like your first sort of like song where you know 3 chords, and it's always it's always stuff like, there's a man, he's a lonely man, take a look at him, he looks a bit like me.
Yeah.
It is me. It's that sort of thing, like when you want to play it with someone and you want them to go, my God, you're deep.
Yeah.
My God, you're brilliant, aren't you? And that's about you, is it? Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
I have to say, this is such a terrible confession. When I was doing a school play once, when I was about that age, 15, right, there was a girl who was in the cast with me, right, and she sort of, she was giving me the eye. I was thinking, yeah, well, I kind of thought she was, right? And
it was class.
But there was another guy. There was another guy there as well. I was sort of competing for her affections.
Oh no!
And he was quite a witty guy.
His name was Scott Hansen. He had long blonde hair.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought, well, a way to impress her, because I was 15 or whatever, I thought I was pretty smart. I sat in one of the adjoining dressing rooms, reading a copy of the philosophical book Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which I didn't understand, but which I sat there reading it in the hope that she would walk in and think, my God, you're reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
You don't go with the crowd. You don't want to come next door when we're talking about nonsense and people are flirting.
We're talking about the bangles
and
curly-whirlies.
You're in here saying, look, just, if you want to come and talk to me, you're welcome, but I'm not...
I'm a thinker.
I bet you thought you were Kwai Chang Kane, didn't you?
I thought it was like she'd think, Jesus Christ, I've never met anyone like him.
That is genius.
And I remember the one time she accidentally walked in, she went, oh, sorry, wrong room, and left again. And that was it.
Sorry, at 15, so this is about the time you took to wearing a bow tie to
I'm
impress
slightly
people.
younger wearing a bow tie.
I love that.
No, I used to watch a lot of Harold Lloyd films. And he always seemed to do very well.
I love it. I love the idea of at 15 you going, well, it's time I went to wooing. Right. Right, on with the bow tie. Where's the Zen?
Where's the pipe and my boat turn?
It's a time I got me a bow.
Yeah.
I love that. But songs are great as well. And the other thing you do, sort of when you're about 15 and 16, is start writing songs about, like, the world's trying to take a piece of me. Hey, you think I'm going down? I'm coming back. I'm against the ropes. They try to drag me down. It's like you want to be Cool Hand Luke. Yeah. They put me in this emotional prison.
The man's on my back. Who?
They try and take a piece of me. Who do? Well,
you're 14.
Parents and that, don't they?
You're incomprehensive.
The teachers. Yeah. I absolutely love it. I still remember a poem. I won't say his name. We're about 14, 15. And we had to write a poem, and obviously everyone's was pretty rubbish, but we mercilessly took the piss out of this bloke, because I still remember the poem, and how he did it is he went through a dictionary and found things like that, and this is a poem, right, okay, remember? I've remembered this for 25 years, right? The reason why I had to die, did I bleed the blood of greed, what was my destiny? And when we hear this, we were laughing. I mean, for a year, we would go, what was my destiny? It was just great.
Can I hear it again? I enjoyed
the reason why I had to die. Did I bleed the blood of greed? What was my destiny?
That's almost as catchy as Monkey News.
Oh, God! Oh! I've got some monkey news for you. Let's play a record and come back, and I've got some great monkey news for you, Carl.
That's from the R.E.M. album that people tend to forget about now because it was so kind of poppy and such a massive hit out of time, but there are some good tunes on it. And there's one of them, Near Wild Heaven.
Excellent, on XFM 104.9. Carl.
Go on.
Watching a programme yesterday, and it was about these Japanese snow monkeys. And it was all about how animals learn things that aren't instinctive, particularly sort of primates, because they see other people doing it, and they start a culture. And they can pinpoint when one monkey first went down and got in the hot water springs and stayed there because it was hot, and the others copied them, and now it's part of almost a culture, you know, that won't be handed on because it's not instinctive, but has to be learnt each time. And they groom as normal like other monkeys, right? But they're really intelligent, and obviously the reason they groom other people, other monkeys, is because they eat the mites. But also the monkeys have learned they like being groomed. Okay, so they showed this one monkey. It went to a deer, okay, and it was grooming this deer to get its mite off it, right? But then it didn't eat it. It held it in its hand. It went over to a monkey, put the mite on itself to show the monkey it had a mite, and got a free grooming.
That's extraordinary.
That's extraordinary.
That is
because it
extraordinary.
gave up the food, knowing that if he put one there, this monkey would look for mites on it, and it would get a free grooming, and it was like having a little massage. What do you think of that?
It's not bad. I've got some better stuff coming up later.
On Monkey News, on the official.
Yeah,
Monkey
do you
News.
see that? Just see what mine though. Mine's true.
I mean, that's an interesting and
It
extraordinary.
actually happened. It's
discovery.
social behaviour amongst primates. So I saw it. It was, you know.
Did it rob a bank, Rick, at any time?
It didn't rob a bank, and it didn't open a hairdresser's.
So that's what you're letting. That's where you're letting yourself
it's
down.
not. It's not quite good enough, is it? My Monkey News.